You finally get the raise. Nothing crazy, but enough to feel like you can breathe again. So you do what almost everyone does. You upgrade. A nicer apartment, a newer car, better furniture, more dinners out because, hey, you earned it. And for a while, life feels good. But 6 months later, you check your bank account and think, why does it still feel like I'm barely moving? If you ever upgraded your lifestyle and somehow ended up just as stressed or more stressed than before, yeah, that's literally most people. I spend way too much time thinking about the $12,000 lifestyle upgrade that ruins long-term wealth. If you're someone who is stuck or stagnant about personal finance, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. This video isn't about being cheap. It's not about never enjoying your money. And it's definitely not about living like a monk. It's about one specific lifestyle upgrade that quietly destroys wealth for millions of people, especially after their late 20s and early 30s. And the scary part is, it doesn't feel irresponsible at all. Let's talk about it. Most people believe their financial problems would disappear if they just made a little more money. Look, if I could just earn an extra $1,000 a month, everything would finally work. But the data tells a very different story. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly half of people earning over $75,000 still report living paycheck to paycheck. That's not an income problem. That's a lifestyle design problem. And the biggest culprit? The $12,000 lifestyle upgrade. Now, that number isn't random, because $12,000 a year is roughly what happens when someone makes one reasonable upgrade after a raise. A $1,000 per month difference. Usually, it shows up as housing, a slightly better neighborhood, a nicer apartment, an extra bedroom, a building with amenities you barely use. It doesn't feel excessive. It feels justified. But here's what most people don't realize. Housing isn't just an expense. It's a multiplier. A more expensive place doesn't just raise your rent or mortgage. It raises utilities, furnishing costs, maintenance, insurance, lifestyle expectations. Suddenly, everything in your life costs more just to exist. Now let's talk math. Let's say you upgrade your housing and it costs you an extra $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. Over 10 years, that's $120,000. But this is where it gets really interesting. If that same $1,000 a month were invested instead at a very reasonable 7% annual return, you're not losing $120,000. You're losing over $170,000. Stretch that at 20 years, you're giving up over $500,000, $500,000, for a lifestyle upgrade that felt completely normal. And psychologically, this is where people get trapped, because the upgrade delivers immediate comfort, better sleep, less noise, more space. Your brain loves that. But investing delivers delayed rewards. And our brains are terrible at valuing delayed gratification. Behavioral economists call this present bias. We massively overweight today's comfort and massively underestimate tomorrow's cost. Now, you might be thinking, but I need a comfortable place to live. I can't just stay miserable forever. And you're right. This isn't about suffering. It's about timing. Wealthy people don't avoid upgrades forever. They delay them until upgrades don't control their future. Most people reverse that order. They upgrade first and try to build wealth later. And later never comes. Here's a story that plays out all the time. Someone is making $60,000 a year, living modestly and saving a bit. They get bumped to $80,000. Instead of saving the difference, they upgrade their housing by $1,000 a month. On paper, they're doing better. In reality, they just lock themselves into a higher baseline cost of living that removes flexibility. Now job loss is scarier. Career risk is riskier. Entrepreneurship feels impossible. That upgrade quietly steals options. And wealth at its core is about options. The option to leave a job. The option to say no. The option to slow down. The option to pivot. Housing upgrades reduce options because they raise your fixed costs. And fixed costs are what create financial anxiety. You don't stress about money because you spend too much on coffee. You stress because your life requires a certain income level just to function. That's the real danger. Now let's talk psychology again. Why is housing the upgrade people overdo the most? Because it's socially reinforced. No one questions it. A nicer place signals success, stability, adulthood. Friends congratulate you. Family feels reassured. Instagram likes go up. Nobody asks, what did that cost you long term? And no one sees the trade-off. They don't see the investment account that never got funded. They don't see the stress when life changes. They don't see the years added to your working life. But you feel it. Here's what most people don't realize. Wealth isn't built by dramatic sacrifices. It's built by not overcommitting to fixed costs too early. Now, let's flip this into something actionable. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, but what do I actually do? Here are a few practical rules. First, cap your housing costs. A powerful guideline is keeping housing under 25 to 30% of your gross income. Not because it's a rule, but because it preserves flexibility. Lower fixed costs equals lower stress. Second, separate income growth from lifestyle growth. When your income increases, delay lifestyle upgrades by at least 6 to 12 months. Let the money pile up first. This does two things. It proves the income increase is real and stable. It lets you experience the psychological win of progress. Third, upgrade in ways that don't raise fixed costs. Travel occasionally instead of permanently upgrading housing. Buy time back with services instead of space. Invest in health, skills, and flexibility, not square footage. Fourth, design your lifestyle around freedom, not appearance. Ask yourself one simple question before any upgrade. Does this increase my options or reduce them? That question alone can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because the goal isn't to look wealthy. It's to feel free. And freedom doesn't come from nicer stuff. It comes from low stress, high control, and a long-term mindset. Here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud. Most people don't lose wealth because they're reckless. They lose it because they normalize expensive lives too early. They build lives that require constant income just to maintain. And that's exhausting. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't need to deprive yourself. You just need to be intentional. Delay the big lifestyle upgrades. Let wealth compound quietly. Design your life around choice, not pressure. If this video made you rethink a lifestyle upgrade, or pause before the next one, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want more content on wealth psychology, investing, and lifestyle design. And comment below, what's one upgrade you're reconsidering after watching this? Your future self will thank you for slowing down today.